Hey, what's going on? It's Sunshine.
And E.
All right.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to Sunshine and E channel and watching us react to some more
Right.
comedy.
That's right.
We got Jeff Foxworthy, Facts of Life.
Facts of life. He's not going to be talking about Tootie, is he? You think? No. Facts of life. Now, what happens is, I always relate that because he's part of the blue collar comedy tour type thing. And I always relate comedy with country, and I always relate country with NASCAR or whatever. So I got my checker flag hat for that. So we're going to check out Jeff. And after you check him out, if you want to see more, just go down the description and check out some of them links there where it says want to see more. And but for now, if you can like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, also share and comment below. So come on, let's go.
Rule in my neighborhood, if you walk your dog and your dog does his business in somebody else's yard, you need to get a little plastic bag, pick it up, and dispose of it. And I know the dogs are confused. The dog's like, wait a minute, you're taking it back home? Why did we have to walk 3 blocks? I could have pooped in the living room, saved us both some embarrassment. What a stupid rule. Why would they have us pick it up? It's fertilizer. It makes the grass grow. Lord, it's not like some child is going to step in it. A kid hadn't played in the yard since 1982. You know what's sad? We have an entire generation that has no idea how to get dog poop off the bottom of their shoe. But when I was growing up, we played in the yard every day, and every day somebody stepped in dog poop. And when it was your turn, you knew what to do about it. You would hobble over to the curb and scrape the biggest part off on the edge of the curb. Then you would find a puddle, and you would swirl the bottom of your shoe around in the puddle. Then limp over to the grass and do the brush stroke back and forth. Then you would find a little bitty piece of stick.
Get the prices up.
And you would sit down on the curb and you would pick it out of the zigzag pattern on the bottom. Then you wore those shoes to church the next day. And nobody in that church knew you'd stepped in dog poop. See, when it comes to technology, my wife and I laugh about this because we're in our mid-50s, and my wife says we are the bologna in the technology bologna sandwich. We're right in the middle because our parents can't text and our children can't write. My kids don't even think you need to study. They're like, Dad, if you want to know something, you just Google it. And to a point, they're right. I mean, when I was growing up, if you were watching TV and somebody said, what was that guy in? You'd go, well, he looks familiar. That was it. Now you're watching TV, somebody goes, what was that guy in? Somebody goes, he was the janitor on Joey. Of course he was. But I try to tell my kids, I said, yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can learn from Google. I said, but there's just as much stuff you can't learn from Google. You only learn it from life experience. You'll usually learn most of it the hard way. It's stuff that's not Googleable. I don't know if that's a word.
I was going to say, is that a word?
But I call them the facts of life. It's stuff you can't Google. Like this, fact of life. If you are trying to get to the bathroom in an emergency situation, it is not a wise idea to unbutton your pants in transit trying to save a couple of seconds. Because the muscles that guard the floodgates will interpret the unbuttoning as the signal to abandon their post. And the 2 seconds you saved on the button are nullified by the hour and a half you spend mopping and doing laundry. You only learn that the hard way. Fact of life. If you are going to see a scary movie at the movie theater, it will be much more entertaining if you can find a seat directly behind a group of black women. Because not only will you get the scary movie, you will also get their running commentary of the scary movie. Oh, look at this. She running around in her panties like that. Girl, put some drawers on. And put that hair up before he snatched that weave out your head. Now, can you see this girlfriend? She going back in the house. No, she going down to the basement. Girl, get your shit and get out there now. Fact of life, women always have more questions than men have answers to. Great example of this. 6, 7 months ago, I get a text one day. The text says, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. I walk into the kitchen where my wife is. I said, hey, I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. She said, was he driving? I said, I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. Were Carol and the kids in the car with him? I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. Were the people in the other car hurt? I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. What hospital did they take him to? I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom. He was in a bad wreck. She said, well, you don't know anything. What do you know? I know you need to pray for Tom. I just got a text that he was in a bad wreck. That's all I got. I ain't holding anything back. That's it. People pointing at each other here.
Yeah.
I call them the facts of life. It's stuff you can't.
Those are true facts. Facts of life.
Yeah. It's weird how you know how years ago you used to you'll say things and you would think they would never go away. Like if you went and you said, "Where's the beef?" You would just automatically assume that somebody would know that. There's just certain things you would say. Like one time, somebody went to go and change or something, and I said, "Oh, they have a phone booth in there," and she didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, what are you talking about? And it's just. That was how Superman changed. He went in the phone booth and changed. So a lot of times that was and as you go, people forget about certain things. So that's weird. Like and with technology, it's the same thing. It's just I remember I bought my son. Well, I bought both of them this thing because they're into videos and stuff. Kind of they anytime they get it. My father was in it, so they get it honestly. So I got both of them for Christmas.
They got on both sides of family.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Sure enough, really, and. I gave them both one of these cameras, and I told the youngest one, I said, listen, now, there was the last one, it was a display model, so there was no instructions, so if you wanted to get with your brother, he got, the one, he looked at me and said, who's using his instructions anymore? And so they just figure it out. And a lot of times that's good because you learn more than what you're searching for a lot of times when you're just trying to figure out. So some things is good that they do and some things, to me, you say, hey, could you put this together? Pop, pop, I'm opening up the sheet, I'm organizing all my tools and my screws and all that. I get all that organized and start work. Where most people now, they just start trying to, usually most people go get assembled by somebody else. They wouldn't do it themselves. But me, I'll do it. I'll give it a shot. And I usually don't end up with a lot of times people are like, man, what's these 2 screws for? I usually don't end up with screws. I usually, because I go through it and I separate all the tools, all the nuts, the bolts, the pins, and all the stuff. And then I start working on it. And I usually put on something that I like to watch and I just take my time and put it together. That's usually how I do it.
Me, I don't try to put anything together. Because I'll mess it up. I'll mess it up every time. I had a TV stand. The only thing I've ever put together that I can recall in my entire life was my first TV stand. Mm-hmm. And one of my best girlfriends had come over and she said, hey, let's put this together. I said, I'm not putting that together. Girl, come put this together. And she helped me. We put it together. Yeah. And that was the only reason how it got together that particular day. But yeah, that was the only thing I think I've ever put together. Because other things I've tried to put together, I mess it up.
And most people, are, I think less people are putting things together themselves than they did before, which means there's an opportunity for business where if you can, get in the grooves like, get that out. People just bring it to your place. You put it together. Come back in 2 hours. Boom, boom, boom. Charge them a few. Yeah, so it might be a business where before people took a shot at it first. Then if they couldn't do it, they'll call a professional. That's how they would do it. So that's kind of how I am. I look at things and somebody comes and say, hey, it's going to cost $1,600. Then I start doing my research. Wait a minute. I'm finding the part online for $150. So he's charging me, over $1,000 for labor. Let me get on there and I get on YouTube. I can do this, and there's several things I've done, and I save myself hundreds of dollars. So,
see, but my thing is, I could start putting it together, and then probably I'm doing good. I'll get to that one spot where something's wrong, and then okay, can I advance on and get to another spot to the point where I'll mess it up totally. Now it's no good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm always afraid of. Even researching stuff and putting in information sometimes in the computer, and I'm like, okay, backspace, next page, go back to the previous page, because now I gotta fix whatever, or so I just don't do it.
I'm like that too. I know it's gonna happen, so I'm used to it now, because if I got 4 screws to screw out, one always gives me a problem. But I always in my mind know that's going to be, and then I work my way through it, and then I'm usually okay. So that was Jeff Foxworthy, Facts of Life. So there was no Tootie involved in this one. Kim Fields, but
he was honest about that dog, getting that dog.
I
didn't realize everybody did that.
Right. There's 2 things that I don't see much. Maybe it's I'm not around, but people stepping in dog poop and people getting gum on the shoes.
And getting gum on the shoes.
That used to be a regular thing. People got gum. I don't know if people just don't chew gum like they do, or they're way more respectful and don't just spit out anywhere. Yeah. I don't know what's behind that, but I used to. I think stepping, which means that's going to happen soon. But I usually don't. I haven't stepped in gum in a long time, and that's another thing. You got this little process. There's a slick stick involved in that one too. Get gum off your shoes. So,
but I gotta say, when he said, he got the text from it said pray for.
Right.
John, it's the reverse for us, because you'll ask me, and I'm like, I don't know.
That's not entirely true. Here's the difference. I don't know if y'all holding on to watch all this. I agree, and that thought crossed my mind. My thing is this: is she actually physically talks to someone, and someone says, "Yeah, I tore my car up," and then I got in an bad accident, and I would think the next logical question, are you all right? So I go, was they okay? I don't know. They just said they got an accident. To me, that's the next logical question if you're physically talking to them. So I'm thinking that you would ask them. That's different from what he had. If you just say, somebody texted me doing it, I might say, I wonder why they didn't say what happened to the car. Maybe they just wanted to hurry up and get through it. But I wouldn't ask for questions on that. It's just when she talks to him, I'm thinking if I'm talking to somebody and we're like that, friends like that, or close like that, my next question is, you totaled the car out? Did you get hurt? Did you have to go to the hospital? I would ask those questions. That seemed like the logical question. Those are the questions I ask, but it's not set up that way. I would never do that. But that's Jeff Foxworthy in Facts of Life. And that's our Facts of Life. But y'all let us know what y'all think. But we're going to get out of here. Before we do me a favor, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, also share and comment below. And I do believe that's it.
That's it. Thanks for listening
to
Sunshine and E.